YouTube, Smooth the Trucker. Happy 2020. Out here on the road. Got a load heading out to Portland, Oregon. But making moves out here for Gardner Trucking, you guys. Gonna be making some moves. Sorry I haven't posted a video in a while. It's been about a month since my last video. But what's basically happened is ran really hard the whole month of December all the way up until about Christmas. There's about 3 weeks there, you know, until about Christmas time. Running super hard, had a lot of miles. But something happened with the company, with Gardner. I talked to my dispatch and they said that I guess they had a rough December. They lost a lot of their paperwork. I guess a lot of the paperwork that you turn in, because Gardner is very old-fashioned, so you have to turn in your paperwork. And I guess supposedly Gardner lost a lot of the paperwork. So a lot of drivers didn't get paid the full amount that they were deserved. And I was one of the drivers that didn't get paid enough, so they told me to turn in all my paperwork, return it in, which I did. And you know, still, they paid me most of it, but not everything I got paid for, so I wasn't compensated for all my work, which is a real bummer, you know. But I kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. So anyways, during my break for over Christmas time and New Year's, I was like, what the heck, you know, I'm gonna do some research and see, you know, see what else is out there, just for the fun of it. So I found this company. It's called V&G. It's a fleet owner who has about 25 trucks, and he's leased on to FedEx, and they drive for FedEx, and they drive all over down to the East Coast. It's about Monday through Friday, or you can stay out longer if you want, but you're hauling doubles for FedEx, leased on to FedEx, and it's team driving. So you're with a teammate and you're going down to New Jersey, and then somewhere in the East Coast like Florida, and heading back to Southern California. So I went ahead and I applied for that position, and it's looking good so far, you guys. If I get that position, it's going to be a lot better pay than Gardner. So that's a potential move that I might be making. I say it's about a 50-50 chance that I get that spot, but it's looking pretty solid today. The guy contacted me and just needs a couple more paperwork, so might be the next move for Smooth here. Smooth may be joining the FedEx crew doing doubles, but we got about a 50-50 shot. It's not a for sure thing yet, but thought I'd it's worth a mention. And that's one of the things about when you're on here on the road is you always want to be looking for the bigger, better deal. Because, you know, once you have about a year experience, you could switch around and start making a lot more money, you guys. It's a lot of people, you know, they want to stick with the same company forever. But, you know, I mean, you want to stay long enough to get your time in, you know, and, you know, not bounce after a couple months. You want to at least stay, you know, a little while to make it worth your time so that the company gives you a good review. But, you know, if I get this FedEx job, it'll be really good money. They said between $1,500 and $1,800 a week. So you always want to be looking for the bigger, better deal. It's better companies out there, and team driving seems to be where it's at right now too, because you get longer runs and you can make more. You're making more money. Team truck drivers are making a lot more money, especially over the road, than OTR guys that are just driving by themselves. So I'm excited, guys. It's got about a 50-50 shot, so it's worth a mention. But that could be happening this next week or so. So making moves. And what I also want to talk to you guys about today is just how important it is to save and invest your money too. Because when you're out here on the road, especially talking to a lot of you young single guys, say you don't have a family yet, or you don't have, you know, a home mortgage, or, you know, child support, or you don't have any ridiculous expenses, or, you know, a big car payment or something that's holding you back, you can really come out here and stack a lot of cash when you're out here especially being an OTR driver. You know, you get away, you kind of have a little adventure, just traveling in the United States, and, you know, making really good money, you guys. You know, like if I get this FedEx job, it'll be, you know, they save about $1,500 to $1,800 a week. You know, if you save and invest, you know, if you don't have any expenses out here on the road, you can literally save and invest about 75 to 80% of your income. You know, if you budget and you have You know, you tell yourself, like for me, I try not to spend more than, 10 or 15 bucks a day on food. You know, if you do that and you just really try to cut down and live as frugal lifestyle as possible, you can save about 75 to 80% of your income. And invest it, and invest it into things that's gonna set you up forever. Like for me, like I love being an OTR driver. It's a lot of fun over here on the road, getting to travel, see different things, but it's really good for this time in my life. Having said that, I don't want to be doing it forever though. I want to be doing it just long enough to build up a big enough asset to move on to something else. Like you always want to have a plan and a strategy when you're out here over the road. You want to have a plan. You want to tell yourself, I'm going to save and invest for so long, and once I have, this much money and my income is this high, like for me, I want to buy a house. I'm getting to the point now, especially if I can land this FedEx job and start making a little more money than I am right now. I'm going to be in a good position here probably in about 10 months to a year from now. I plan on, buying some property. You always want to educate yourself when you're out here on the road. I'm always listening to YouTube videos about real estate and just watching podcasts and, studying, the market and see where things are going. And it's real important to stay up to date on those things, you guys, because if you have a plan and a strategy, I'm doing a lot of research on duplexes, possibly, acquiring some rental property here in the next 10 months to a year. So you always want to have a plan and a strategy of what your next move is going to be. And, coming out here on the road, especially if you don't have a whole lot of expenses, you can really acquire, a really good, strong financial foundation for yourself. If you're wise with your money, you have a plan and a strategy, and, you just go for it. You budget real well. You can bank a lot of money, just in this last, I started with May Trucking last year. I love it. I'm still getting comments from people about May Trucking, giving them advice. And then for Gardner now here for my second company, and if everything goes well, we'll see what happens with FedEx doing this. I would love to be doing doubles for FedEx. I have my endorsements, my hazmat, tanker, doubles and triples, TWIC card, all my endorsements. So I'd love to be using my doubles endorsement if I can get this new position. So really hoping things go through. It's looking good right now. And if that's the case, you guys, things are going to be looking real good. Looking into acquiring some rental property. There's a lot of different things you can do to educate yourself when you're out here on the road. I have got my phone, and I have like an auxiliary cord and Bluetooth hooked up to Big Bertha here, semi-truck. So, I just plug that baby in and go on YouTube and educate yourself. You listen to Bigger Pockets. You can go on, listen to a lot of different real estate investors, like, Grant Cardone and Graham Stephan and Meet Kevin and tons of other guys, that'll teach you really good, valuable advice and educate yourself when you're out here on the road. It's one of those things, some people are cut out to learn in school. For me, I never was able to learn that much in school. It was always just felt like a big waste of time going into class because the teacher would be talking about something that, I didn't really care about. And, I just was zoning out. I just wanted to fall asleep and, get the heck out of there, basically. It was so boring. I hated it. I hated, being trapped in school. It felt like being in prison almost to me. But being out here on the road, especially when you're just driving down the open highway, you have a lot of time. And during the time when you're driving, you can really, instead of just listening to music the whole time, you can listen to educational podcasts, like real estate podcasts and different truck driver podcasts. I listen to the Red Viking Trucker and the Asian Mai Trucking channel. And, there's a lot of different people that are going to educate you when you're out here if you just have an open mind and you're willing to learn. If you have an open mind and you're willing to learn and educate yourself when you're out here on the road, you can really set yourself up for a very good future. A lot of people, the future is in your hands when you're out here being an over-the-road truck driver. As long as you're getting your miles in, you're going to be making good money, and it's up to you to save and invest that money and have a plan and a strategy of what you're going to do. Because, you know, I love being an OTR driver. It's super cool. But in reality, you know, I don't want to be doing this forever. I want to be having assets, you know, acquiring some rental property here, and, you know, just building up your net worth to a point where you don't have to drive anymore if you don't want to. But, you know, you always want to have a plan and a strategy of what your next move is going to be when you're out here on the road. So I just want to update you guys and let you know how that went. You know, it was really good. Christmas and New Year's, I was out. I went to Texas to see my aunt and uncle for New Year's. Got to celebrate it out there, and back out on the road now working for Gardner, and we'll see what happens with FedEx. But wanted to update you guys, making some moves, and always, you know, try to save and invest, and always have a plan and a strategy when you're out here on the road, because it'll really pay off. You know, you put in your time and you educate yourself and you save and invest and have a plan, a strategy. This business is going to take you a far way. Being a CDL, big rig truck driver, you know, you can bank, try to bank. You know, I shoot for 75 to 80% of my income. Some people might think that's a little bit extreme, but, you know, for my situation, I'm able to do that right now. So it works out very nicely. And, you know, any of you young single guys that are looking to do the same thing, you guys can really get ahead in life if you save and invest and you really plan for your future. So that's what I would strongly recommend. It's one of the most important things I would say about being out here, is just trying to save and bank as much money as possible. Set yourself up for a better position financially, especially towards the future. So that's all I got for today. That's what I really want to talk to you guys about, and that's all I got for this Tuesday. Smooth the Trucker out for now. Woo!